What is balanced literacy? Have you ever heard of the term balanced literacy? It actually was introduced in the 1990s. What exactly is it? And does it still apply to teaching even after all these years? Balanced literacy came along in response to the more extreme teachings of whole language and heavy phonics-based instruction. In the whole language approach, literacy skills were mostly taught in the context of real reading and writing. On the other hand, phonics-based instruction focused on teaching literacy skills mostly out of the context of real reading and writing. When balanced literacy came along in the 1990s, the purpose was to find a better balance by combining the two extremes. But as the years have passed, it has come to mean much more than just finding a good balance between whole language and phonics-based instruction. Balanced literacy includes balancing these three important components when teaching reading and writing. Number 1, I do. Teacher models. Number 2, we do. Teacher supports learners as they practice it. Number 3, you do. Learners work independently. Now I'm going to break down these three components for reading and writing so you can see how it all fits into a balanced classroom setting. Let's begin with balanced literacy in reading. Teacher models reading, I do. Read aloud. Read alouds typically happen whole group. During a read aloud, you take on most of the responsibility as you model things like comprehension strategies, fluency, and much more. We can take our read alouds interactive by asking feedback from our learners, but the teacher is still heavily involved. Guided reading. Guided reading is focused instruction that happens in a small group environment, 6 or less students. The text you read with the students is typically something that they can read, but only with support. Each student has a copy of the text as you read it together. Short text can be read more than once over a 2 or 3 day period. Number 2, teacher supports readers. We do. Shared reading. During shared reading, the teacher selects a text that all learners in the class can see. It is a text that is on grade level. This means that it will not be a just right text for all readers. And that's okay because you're there to offer tons of support and learners will have plenty of times to read on their own level. Number 3, learners read independently. You do. Within the school day, learners need time to read independently. They need time to apply the skills they've seen you model and they've practiced with you. This typically happens during literacy center time or a self-paced reading time. Balanced literacy with writing. Balanced literacy also includes writing. There are numerous ways to teach writing. Collaborative writing, shared writing, and independent writing. When teaching writing, the following components are vital to instruction. Number 1, teacher models writing, I do. During this approach, you can start with the mini lesson where you model writing and writing strategies to your learners. Implementing a strategy such as the writing process allows students to become comfortable, organized, and satisfied with their writing. Writing, especially for writing assignments, can seem overwhelming for many students. But writing does not need to be intimidating. Instead, students can focus on one element of the process at a time to produce quality work that makes them proud. Number 2, we do. Teacher supports writers. During independent writing time, after a mini lesson, you can meet with a small writing group for strategy instruction. Meeting one-on-one with learners during this time can be rewarding. The sharing time of writing workshops after independent writing time is a great time to offer support and feedback to writers. Number 3, you do. Learners write independently. Once the mini lesson is over, the teacher turns writing over to the learners. During independent writing time, writers are encouraged to apply what they know to their own writing using the teacher's suggestions. Last, we have balanced literacy with spelling word study. Phonics and spelling can be taught in a whole group time, I do, and through small groups, we do. Learners can then take those skills and apply them in their reading, writing, and center time, you do. Word study and spelling is an integral part of balanced literacy. In conclusion, as I reflect on the expectations of our reading language arts and reading curriculum and instruction practices, it is noted that scholars should engage in the balanced approach to literacy development through reading, writing, and word study. These encompass explicit instruction, guided practice, and collaborative learning, and independent reading and writing. These lay the foundational blocks for strategic reading, writing, and analytical thinking across all disciplines.